Grand Rising. We're going live in 8 minutes this morning. How was your weekend? Was it long enough? Mine wasn't. Never is. Oh, it was kind of crazy this weekend. You know, the Teen Talent contest was this weekend. My goodness. It was some kind of special. Turn that down a little bit so you can hear me. We had teams from all over the world. Do you hear me? From Australia, Africa, Canada, Dubai, other places in the Middle East. I can't remember the exact names, but it was some kind of special. So you be sure and go to YouTube and check out our channel, Higher Learning TV Show channel. Higher Learning TV Show. YouTube.com, Higher Learning TV Show. And subscribe and like and share. And I want to share this with you. Isn't it cute? These are some gifts for some of the winners, the contestants. And look what goes in the back. Can you see that? You can put your some candy or business card or something, anything you want to put in. It's just one of the gifts. Stick it up there on my shoulder. But we got about 5 more minutes. And we will be going live on Facebook.com, Higher Learning Network TV show, on ZeldaSpeaks, on Facebook, and the third one, Diabetic Donut. So, we have lots of information to share with you today. So grab pen and paper, because I got lots of information to share with you today. Beginning with the fact that this is the beginning of summer solstice. And if I'm saying that right, summer solstice, yeah. And this is a powerful time in the planet right now. And for those of you who don't know what that means, I have a website for you. It's everconscious.com. Everconscious.com. We've got 3 minutes. It was so much fun seeing all my buddies from radio again, because I had radio and TV. Connections is one of the prizes that we're giving to the winners. And also one of the prizes for those who are in Chicago is the Brookfield Zoo tickets. You know, Brookfield Zoo has the lighting show that goes on every year for the holiday. And I saw it online. It is beautiful. Made me want to go. So I'm going to share those with you. And all you have to do is go to higherlearningnetwork.org. higherlearningnetwork.org. Now, why won't this stuff stay up here? It was doing just fine before the show started, and now people are here. You got to show it. Well, that's what happens, right? 2 minutes, people. We start in 2 minutes. So call someone, text someone, let them know we're on this morning. And I think I'll do the same. It ain't sexy being underinformed. That's the topic of the show today. So if you want to be informed, this is where you need to be. Right here on Monday Morning Mindfulness on blogtalkradio.com, the female solution. And I do believe we are starting in 1 minute. Un momento. Alrighty now, 1 minute. One minute, people. We will be starting. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solutions, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao.
Ni hao.
In India,
Namaste.
In Japan,
Konnichiwa.
In Korea,
Annyeonghaseyo.
In Russia,
Здравствуйте.
In Germany, Guten Tag.
Tag.
In Poland, Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
In France, Bonjour.
Bonjour.
In Spain, Hola.
Hola.
In Italy, Ciao.
Ciao.
In Egypt, Asamasaka. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo.
Peleo.
In South Africa, Saobola.
Saobola.
In Senegal, Nangaba.
Nangaba.
In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom.
Shalom.
In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with ZeldaSpeaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, the female solution. Mondays, 7:30 to 9 a.m. Be sure to send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and visit your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moments with us today. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to the next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. Thanks for listening.
Grand Rising. And thank you for joining me this morning on the Female Solution Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness. It is Monday, 12/21. That is December 21st, 2020. And do you know what that means? Yes, it's Global Awakening Day. What do we mean by that? Wow, the day is so special. We are transforming lives one day at a time, one voice, one consciousness at a time. This is the day to exit the old system, the old way of being and thinking and having and moving our existence on this planet and coming into a new consciousness. The old way of man's inhumanity to man no longer can exist if we are to thrive and live in this world. This is a day of cosmic and spiritual significance. It's a magical date where the planets are aligning. You've heard of Saturn, haven't you? Well, you'll hear a whole lot more about it with my sisters. The microphone coming on, joining me in the 7:30 hour this morning. Today is also known as the Great Conjunction. It only happens every 20 years. This is where we are open and connected to the earth. We have been disconnected long enough. And now this portal has opened on this day. This is a magical day. It happened at 3:45 a.m. this morning when most of us were asleep. I was not asleep. I was up preparing for this show and just didn't feel like going outside and looking. I'm sure somebody recorded it somewhere. But anyway, it's the solar eclipse upon a portal of a brand new beginning, and you're all part of it. That's right. You are responsible for what happens to this earth, because when the portal allows streams of high frequency energy to come to the planet, it's already here, and we just simply have to tap into it. And if you want more information, thank you, Baba Elder Kwame Sunhorse, for sharing the information so you can look the information up yourself. If you're not familiar with it, go to everyconscious.com. Everyconscious.com. And if you didn't hear the 5:55 a.m. message this morning from our executive director, Naima Latif, who will be joining us here in the 7:30 hour, and she spoke about, I love the way she words everything, and it's just so enlightening. I love it. That's what I love about being a part of the Female Solution team. It's just I'm always learning, and I swore on a stack of Bibles I would never learn anything else after graduating college because I was just sick of books. Well, books is one form of learning. Living is another form. It's a best form of learning. And we have been, to quote Naima, we have been mistaken in our perception of who's in control of our lives. Okay. And so we have not been awakened to our true identity, our true selves. And that's what this portal is all about. That's what this higher consciousness is. It's about our awakening. We can't continue to be misled about our own reality because we too busy having fun. As Brother Lionel Abdul Haq of Community Cultivations always says when he comes on every first Monday of the month, we're too busy having fun. And today's show will bring moments of reality and awaken us because we've been sleeping way too long. I was watching Ma Rainey's Black Bottom on Netflix last night. Ma Rainey, in case you didn't know, is the mother of the blues. We know about Bessie Smith. We know about Billie Holiday. Lots of research, lots of photos done on them, but Ma Rainey didn't see anything. And let me tell you, I hated the blues before I did my research. I had to do research in order to graduate from Columbia College with a broadcast communications. So how can you not know about blues and you got a degree in broadcasting? Okay, in broadcast communications at that. Well, anyway, there's a spoiler alert. En route to, in the movie on Ma Rainey, Black Bottom, she was en route to the studio to practice with the band, to make the song Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And do you know what Black Bottom is? I saw the movie 3 times and didn't get it till the second time. So you got to see that movie. It's on Netflix. But anyway, she had an accident, and the police came, police came, and her manager came out of the studio to clear things up. And this is where you realize who runs things, and that's the corporations, the business owners. It's not the police. The police are hired by the business owners, and you wonder why you keep getting stopped. You wonder why we have these issues with the police. The police aren't the problem. It's the businesses that are the problem because they own the police. I'm just saying. And if you still doubt me, do you remember anything about the Tuskegee experiment? Do your research. Don't believe nothing I say. Matter of fact, just go do your own research. Anyway, our topic today is Divinity Day, Wisdom with Mama D. Mama D, Mama D, Mama D. If you have not heard Mama D, you are in for a delightful surprise. She'll be joining us in the 7:30 hour because today's topic is, it ain't sexy being under-informed, not just misinformed, but under-informed. So that's a whole lot going on for today. Happy Earth Day, birthday, born day. If today's your birthday, if you're celebrating your natal day, we are wishing you love and lots of light and energy to continue your journey into this experience we call life. And if you're listening online, we'd love to have you join the conversations this morning. And we are broadcasting live on Facebook.com, HLN TV show. Also on Facebook, ZeldaSpeaks, and on YouTube, Higher Learning TV show, as well as Twitter, ZeldaSpeaks, the number 2 and the letter U, ZeldaSpeaks to you. And if you would like to give us your comments, share your thoughts, you can feel free to do so right here in the StreamYard platform, which is available for you to chat. And our show today is being sponsored by StreamYard. So thank you so very much by going to that site and signing up if you would like to broadcast your show. We're also broadcasting live on Pixely.com as well as Instagram. So while you are at the Higher Learning TV show on YouTube, you probably noticed a lot of our youth there from the contest. We had the first round 1 of the Teen Talent Contest, showcasing children from all over the world: Africa, Asia, Atlanta, Australia, Dubai, New Zealand. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, where were the people from America? Anybody here from America? So we did have some people from Philly, from the East, and Maryland, and a couple other places. And I was just shocked. Oh, these kids are so talented. So you got to go to youtube.com, Higher Learning TV show, and you'll see them there. And please subscribe while you're there. And if you don't have the app on your phone, it's available on Google Play Store and also on the App Store on iPhones. And while you are on there, remember that it's important that you share it because our children need encouragement. And if we don't encourage them, who will? And thank you very much for all of the judges, my old radio and TV buddies. We used to work together at one of the stations, the many stations that I worked at: WGCI, V103, WEJM, WJPC, WSSD, WNUA. Good Lord, how many radio stations did you work at, girl? I tried to work as many of them as I possibly could. Anyway, some of our judges included super producer Lisa E. Back in the day, remember Lisa E? Baby, if you need to contact somebody, Lisa E was the person to call because she had everybody in her cell phone. We were doing this before social media became the thing to do. But Lisa E was there. Airman Gene Phillips, who taught me my technical experience in recording interviews and things of that nature in the studio. Dee Daniels, we worked together at several stations. She's the CEO and founder of the Women's Network Group. And Pixely, you got to go there and sign up. It's another platform, a social media platform, Pixeoly, Pixely.com. And Loren Wilson, who she was my intern, I forgot, at WGCI. You know, she told me that. I was like, really? Okay, but she has a voice of her own, and now she's retired. She had a beauty salon at the same time. I'm like, how do you do all that work in radio? She had a beauty salon. Now she has a catering company because she had a beauty salon for almost 30 years. But now she has a catering company. Baby, and the food is so good. Send me some food today, Lorraine. I'm hungry, okay? And last but not least, Dr. C.J. Mimi. Dr. C.J. Mimi is a young physician, a chiropractic surgeon. Am I saying that right? She's a chiropractic doctor. How about that? And I thought it was important to have her on because the presentation, the style, the delivery of a child performer has a lot to do with their posture. And I didn't know that until I had a conversation with Dr. CJ. So she joined us. And next week we'll have Barbara McDowell, music producer of the Soul 106.3 and Power 92. LaDonna Tittle, your Tittle in the Middle, and my girl, Troy Tyler. And the things that they had to judge them on was the originality, showmanship, music selection, technique, and overall performance. And they were these kids were phenomenal. Anyway, the prizes include, the first prize was a Bitcoin wallet. And do you know what Bitcoin is valued at today? $23,327.90. Okay. The second prize was the radio TV connection. That's why I have professionals from broadcasting here. Third prize is the Kids Portable Keyboard. And fourth and fifth prize was Higher Learning Network TV show, T-shirts, and the little teddy bear I showed you earlier. So that is the story about the Teen Talent Contest. And we are not accepting applications right now, but we will be in 2021, which is right around the corner. So set those DVRs for Higher Learning Network TV show. Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on channel 19, and 24/7 on the YouTube channel. So please go there and subscribe. And while you're there, go to our diabetic donut, where I reverse type 2 diabetes, diabeticdonut.com. Send them there. They can get the free download of how I reverse type 2 diabetes. And as well as go to ZeldaSpeaks.com. There's information there on how to grow your own veggies. ZeldaRobinson.towergarden.com. And if you have pain and inflammation like I do, and most of us who are senior citizens right about now, we have issues with our bodies because of the SAD diet, the standard American diet where we grew up eating all junk. So we got lots of pain and inflammation. So go to the site zelda.now.site. Today's show is sponsored by StreamYard.com as we take a look at the expressways. No reported delays on CTA nor Metro, but inbound on the Kennedy, it is 18 minutes and 21 minutes on the outbound. That earlier crash inbound, the left lane was cleared up at Foster and Central. As we take a look at the Edens, it is 25 minutes inbound and 28 minutes on the outbound, a little congestion there. On the Eisenhower, 28 in, 25 out. On the Stevenson, 18 minutes in both directions. On the Dan Ryan, 11 minutes in both directions. And the Bishop Ford, 12 in and 14 out. And Lakeshore Drive, inbound 10, 11 on the reverse. And that's your traffic and weather, sponsored by StreamYard.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to join the conversation, 515-605-9325, press 1 to speak. And do keep in mind that tomorrow, got something stuck in my tooth. Probably some popcorn I had last night. That's exactly what it is. Tomorrow, let's talk about it with Maika. She'll be joining us. And on Wednesday, Naima Latif and Kareem Hamid, Repairing Family Relationships. Thursday, Family Matters with Wendy City Deloach Esquire, our attorney at law here. And Friday, Health and Wellness with Viata. Saturdays, Nonviolent Communication with Jana. That is our host from London, England. And Love, Joy, and Powers, Move Around with Deborah, and Wisdom with Mama D. Now, on those Saturdays, we're not on at 7 a.m. We're on from 12 noon until 2 p.m. And on Sunday night, Soul Purpose Healing. And Viata had a great show last night on the winter solstice as well. Actually, what's going on, the cosmic and spiritual significance of it. And if you didn't hear that show or any of the shows that you want to hear, you can always go back to the archives and hear them on blogtalkradio.com, The Female Solution. Just scroll down to the your show that you want to hear, and it's right there. And be sure and share it while you're there. It's time for morning inspiration. We're a little bit behind time, but I'm going to read to you from December 22nd, which says, where will you live when they diagnose your discomfort with yourself? Where will you live? Will you live in fear, or will you face the fear head on and thank the opportunity to help you grow through the challenge to change the situation? Will you live within that small space within yourself that gave away to this consciousness that believed in, or will you go within the fullness of the truth in which you were brought into this world that gives you power and dominion over self? So where will you live? Inside, I hope, and trusting your gut and not what they're giving you in traditional news. Inspirational Conversations with Shalom with Israel, aka ZeldaSpeaks, available at ZeldaSpeaks.com. Proceeds bit the Higher Learning Network TV show, youth media training, and all of the other good that we do in the community. So thank you so much for joining me for that this morning as we prepare for our Monday morning mindfulness meditation, where we sit up straight in our chair, feet flat on the floor, legs uncrossed. We will begin the breathing process of inhaling in and exhaling. So, if you are one of those people who sometimes has a challenge in the midst of madness and you need a little help, this is what we do. We simply breathe in and we breathe out. There's power in these hands. Put a little oil in these hands, like a little lavender, little tea tree oil, or helichrysum, or peppermint, whatever you feel that makes you feel good, just to calm the brain down. And you rub it in your hands, inhale it deep through the nose, and it calms the brain, because the brain will send the signals to the rest of the body to calm down, to release the fight or flight syndrome. You don't have to be in that state of consciousness, so you can calm down. We're going this morning to speak to all of the organs in our bodies as we begin the process. Inhaling deeply, hold it, and exhale, and close your eyes. You should not be looking at me. You should be looking at the inside of your eyelids as we inhale deeply. Let us inhale together. Hold it. Hold it. And exhale. You see, when you take that long, deep breath, you automatically feel it in your body. I feel it going from my head down to my shoulders. And let's feel it together again. Inhale deeply. Through the nose, hold it. And exhale through the nose. And you continue breathing in and breathing out on your own. And we don't have to be on the same breath as we inhale and exhale, as long as you are inhaling and exhaling on your own. That's what's important, because someone somewhere is unable to do that. They may have a trachea in their throat, on their transition bed on their way out, but you are one of the lucky ones who did. So let us inhale together. Inhale deeply. And exhale through the nose. Everything is happening through the nose today. As we bring that energy up, this time as we inhale deeply, feeling that energy move from the top of our head down through our face, chin, and our shoulders as we inhale. And as we exhale, sending that energy on down through the chest, solar plexus, the sides, the back, the buttocks and the hips and the thighs as we inhale deeply. Giving thanks for the energy that continues to flow down through the knees, rubbing those glorious knees and those legs and ankles and arches, and down through the bottom of the feet, the balls of the feet, the top and bottom of the feet, the ankles. Wiggle those toes as we inhale deeply. Bringing that energy back up through the toes, wiggling, sending that energy right back up through the feet, the arches, the ankles, and the legs, and back up to the knees, where we rub all of the parts of the body that need our love and attention. We give thanks for those big, thick, healthy thighs. Thick thighs save lives. As we inhale deeply, bringing that energy back up through the buttocks. Doesn't matter if the butt is big or small, it's a butt and you got one. Give thanks for it. Inhale deeply. As we give thanks for the midriff, maybe a little bit too much there from a little bit too much food, but that's okay. Just keep breathing, because if we really want it off, we will release it. We give thanks for it because it showed us that we have more abundance than we even know about. As we inhale deeply, bringing that energy back up from our backs and our sides, thighs and our shoulders. As we get up to those shoulders, bring those hands up in the air. Rotate those shoulders as you inhale deeply. Giving thanks for the movement in the shoulders and the arms. Wiggle those arms and those elbows and the wrists and the fingers. Oh, yes. Does that feel good? Inhale deeply. And sending that energy back on up through the shoulders and the face and the forehead and the top of the head. We give thanks for the power of the breath, because it is the breath that calms us, excuse me, in times of chaos and confusion. As we inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale. And just be with the stillness of the breath, giving thanks for the power of the breath. As we inhale, repeating two of the most powerful words on the planet: I am, I am, I am. And whatever you choose, whatever words you choose to put behind those words is entirely up to you. Inhale deeply. I am happy. I am healthy. I am whole and complete. You see the words I am. Keep your eyes closed and continue to breathe. Inhale deeply. You see the words I am opens the door to endless possibilities, especially on this date of the great conjunction, the great awakening. As we inhale deeply, knowing that we are in tune with the higher self today, right here, right now. As we inhale deeply, giving thanks for this connection to our higher self, that we will only trust this day. Just for this day alone, we choose what we experience in this life, not what they tell us, what they have programmed us to believe. We believe in the gut, in the energy of the Creator that created us. We believe in that which is divine, which is universal, which gives us breath. As we breathe in, hold it. And as we breathe out, we continue the words, I am. I am happy. Exhale, let it go. Inhale deeply. I am whole and complete. As we exhale. Inhale deeply. I am grateful. Yes, I am. As we exhale. Inhale deeply. I am immune to disease. Remember The body follows the mind. Inhale deeply. I am immune to disease. Feel that resonating through your body. Feel the energy flowing from your breath to each and every organ in your body. Let's say it together once more. Inhale deeply. I am immune to disease. I am immune to dis-ease. Inhale deeply once more. I am immune to disease. I am an immune production center. All of the cells that are in my body are listening to my voice as I speak at this moment. As I inhale deeply, I give thanks for the powerful messages that I am sending from my brain through my voice box down to my heart, my liver, my lungs, my spleen, my spine, and my pancreas. As I inhale deeply, if there are any imbalances in my kidneys and my liver, I release and let them go right now as I replace them with atoms of love and light, energy, and immune protecting cells. As I inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale. And simply marinate and trust in the knowledge that your Creator has given you everything you need to survive and to thrive in these challenging times, because you know, and I know, that we are one with the one. As we take our long, last, deep inhale deeply, bringing those hands up in the air and moving that body round and round. Wiggle those hands, stretch, give that body a nice warm stretch, and bring those hands down to the shoulders. Massage those shoulders and the back of the neck, and touch the back of the neck and squeeze that vagus nerve, sending love and light and nothing but pure energy and love. I am an immune producing machine. I am immune to disease. I am that I am because I trust in the I am. And the I am is the power of the universal spirit that is responsible for my breath. As I inhale deeply, this time, bringing your head forward, chin to chest, slowly rotating the head to the left, slowly bringing it around to the back. Slow down, you're moving too fast, and slowly bringing the head to the right, and slowly bringing it back, front and center, head up. Inhale deeply, bringing the head back forward, chin to chest, and slowly rotating the head to the right, and bringing it around to the back. Oh, yes, that feels good. And slowly bringing it around to the left. Slow down. And slowly bringing it back, front center, head up. Inhale deeply. And look to the left as far as you possibly can, feeling a stretch in the right side of the neck. Bringing the head back center. Inhale deeply. And exhale, bringing the head back to, turning the head to the right, feeling the stretch in the left side of the neck as far as you possibly can, and returning the head back forward. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale. And just marinate in the love that you have just given your body. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just opened the portal to a new consciousness, a new way of being, because who you are comes as a result of your breath and the time and the effort and the energy that you put into it. You are in control. not the masses, not the pandemic, not your job, not your children, not anything. We are in control, and we give thanks for this control. And if there are people, places, and circumstances and situations in your life that challenge you at any given time, you simply breathe in and breathe out through your nose. If you got a little funk on your breath, like some garlic or some onion, they'll step back. I promise you. Alrighty? So you be sure and share that with someone. And they can go to my YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show, for more information. And that way you will be able to contain yourselves in times of chaos. 7:32, when we come back, we'll be joined by my sisters of the microphone, Executive Director Naima Latif, and Wisdom with Mama D. Where's Mama D, Naima? Give her a call and give us a call, 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak, and we'll be with you shortly.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
Are you constantly arguing with your spouse? Are your children misbehaving and acting out? Someone in your family abusing drugs? Have you been a victim of domestic violence? Are you grieving the loss of a loved one? Let us help you restore serenity to your life. At Serenity Family Social Services, we understand that good mental health is a result of emotional well-being. Our goal is to assist you and your family in removing emotional distress and restoring harmony and balance to your lives. We offer individual, couples, and family counseling. I'm Howard Williams, CEO of Serenity Family Social Services. Call us today at 312-315-4820. That's 312-315-4820.
Hi, I'm Dr. CJ of Valona Health, where we combine orthopedic manual therapy and neuroscience to treat the whole person. Health tip for the day is keep it moving. Doesn't matter how, just keep it moving doing something you enjoy. Walking, dancing, rolling on the floor with your dogs or kids, really anything. The body craves movement to keep the bones, joints, and the muscles happy. Even our mental health and internal organs and digestive system rely on our movement. Thanks for being a part of the Higher Learning Network from the Female Solution.
You're tuned in to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair 2020 Vision Fundraising Campaign. That's right. You can support the vision of reviving Black literary excellence in the city by simply taking your $20 or more and donating it on our website. Visit www.soulfulchicagobookfair.com and click the Donate tab on our homepage. Or give us a call at 646-359-6605, and we welcome you, helping us bring literary life into the South Side of Chicago. We all say we would like to be wealthy, but wealth isn't determined by how much money you have. Wealth is determined by your power to define what money is. The dictionary defines money as something used as a way to pay for goods and services and to pay people for their work. So how would you like to have access to an unlimited source of money? Money that is not taxed by the government. Money that increases as you share the opportunity with others. Money that you can use to pay for goods and services and pay people for their work. I'm talking about Bitcoin. It's the future of independent wealth building. Bitcoin is the new money that you control. Get started building your wealth. Call 312-849-3456. That's 312-849-3456. This is Minister Cynthia Marie Williamson, spiritual counselor and advisor. I invite you to a private reading in the areas of business, health, finances, relationships. My introductory cost of $20. Please call because there is a higher power that can help me help you. 312-802-4743. Peace and blessings to you all. Call me. 312-802-4743.
Grand Rising, and thank you for joining me back here on The Female Solution with our Executive Director, Naima Latif, who I will ask to unmute herself so that I can hear her. Thank you for joining us, Naima. And we are also being joined by Mama D, who comes on Saturdays, fourth Saturdays at 12 noon. And Mama D will not be joining us this morning by video, but she will be joining us by the phone line, 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. Welcome, Mama D. Thank you so much for joining us this morning as we discuss Divinity Day. Yes, Mama D.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We hear you loud and clear, Mama D. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you. This is such a special day. You were talking earlier about the food and being up and watching that, and that's wonderful. But to give you the background behind the eyes of this today and what it's all about, I did a WOE commentary 4 minutes on Stay Focused with Robert McKay. And so if I could just read that, then you'll get an idea of divinity and what the whole thing is about.
Please
Can I
do.
do that right now?
Yes, ma'am. Right now. Please do.
Okay. I am Mama D, D.C. Angel, and y'all do it again. The spiritual spokesperson for y'all nation loving spiritual. The gospel according to Y2K, Yeshua's second coming, and the memorial to the woman. On behalf of advocates for Native Black American rights, I invite America 18th. It marks the anniversary of the ratification of the 14th Amendment that abolished individual ownership of slaves and changed it into institutional ownership of slaves through incarceration. And their descendants are disproportionately impacted by this recycled slavery. Former Presidents Bill Clinton and George Bush featured in the June 18, 2009 U.S. Senate on apology for slavery and Jim Crow segregation laws said the vestiges still exist today. Yet, many Negro blacks have no incentive to remove the chains of untreated hard mind and spiritual slave mentality, white supremacy, poverty damage, because they are in denial that it exists. However, their actions of putting the plight of others before their own needs are met is evident that vestiges still exist today. Divinity Day promotes unity, self, and cultural self-esteem to overcome the subjugated syndrome of blackface, the marking of facial features, to commercialize self-hate and hatred from others in society. Also, to mobilize indigenous Native Black Americans, descendants of crimes against humanity and Jim Crow genocide, who are not immigrants, and America is the only country they have, and English is their native tongue. identifying themselves by a continent or the color black that has no standing in law keeps them exiled in their own land. They are American, and that is what is on their passport to the world. Therefore, to secure their citizenship in a land built on the brutal back of black slaves' stolen labor, they must identify themselves with a country first instead of a continent. In other words, they are American Africans instead of African Americans. They should advocate as twin victims of the American genocidal Holocaust and demand the same benefits for reparations that the indigenous Native Americans have received. As twin victims, this means equal status, cultural rights, sovereignty, land, money, and other governmental resources to repair the damage that is left them less than whole. December 18th, Genocide Day, sunset to sunrise, a visual intergenerational dinner with enslaved ancestors. It is this: man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. The spiritual succession deals with internal reparations to remove the slave mentality. The South physically seceded from the USA to keep black bodies in perpetual chains. So from sunset to sunrise, Divinity Day begins with a be-still, fast, and prayer visual to feel the presence of our ancestors in chains. Soul food, the meat of the word, is on the menu. Therefore, we remove ourselves from business as usual and do not open our doors to empathize and make a connection to the pain, suffering, and nightmare life they endured so we could fulfill our dreams. They did not have the liberty to eat food, drink water, use the toilet, or pursue the pleasure of things like reading a book or learning how to write without having their thumb cut off. They had to ask permission to do these things that we take for granted. Divinity Day, December 18th, all souls are asked to wear the colors red, black, and green out of cultural respect for 400 years, 157 under Great Britain, 188 under the USA, with vestiges that still exist today. Red is for the blood they shed, black is for the color of their race, and green is for the land in America and their African homeland. All non-American Africans are urged to share the wealth out of respect and remembrance for the enslaved ancestors who never received a check for 246 years of forced free labor by terror and torture. All society is asked to buy from a black person or black business and share the wealth with these ancestors. But the important thing is to honor the victims of the transatlantic slave trade. The United Nations has a slavery remembrance day every single year. So Divinity Day is really about a national observance to honor the memory of victims of the transatlantic slave trade and Jim Crow genocide. Now, the United Nations calls that the greatest Holocaust that ever happened in the history of humankind. So what we're just doing is making a connection, because far too many of our people, this was the 155th anniversary of people coming out of physical chains of terror and torture. And America needs to know that thing. 155 years have passed, and no one even mentioned it. Not on TV, not on radio, not on anything. Can you imagine any other race of people that could have gone through that experience and have a 13th Amendment constitutional law. You're not bringing it up. So this is what we're dealing with. And Divinity Day, it's a day to make your connections with the Creator, and first of all, dealing with yourself. I made up the word. There are two in Chicago, two resolutions. There are two resolutions for Divinity Day. One is October 16th, Atonement Day. The other one is Spiritual Succession, Divinity Day, and that is December 18th. And so every day we do a different activity to get in touch with ourselves. For instance, because this is Tuesday on the 19th, that when they clear the air, apologize to someone you have hurt, or find forgiveness for someone that has hurt you. It includes self-inflicted like inappropriate behavior, substance and sexual abuse. December 12th, say no to rice, like sugar, like salt, like rice, like salad, like potatoes, temperature, like potato products. This activity is to table our ordinary eating habits and make us more aware of the heavy dependency on processed and refined foods that are related to diabetes, weight gain, heat loss, and other health problems. So today, December 21st, do some reading, write a letter to an inmate, go to a visitor child in a residential center, senior citizens in a nursing home, or give a gift to a homeless person. Let them know that there is faith, change is possible. Show them everyday people hear about it. And then we have December 22nd, say no to mass media. Give your brain a break and say yes to entertaining yourself with family and friends. You do the stuff. Share and share talent with others. Then we have December 23rd. You deserve a rest from all the people, places, and things that stress you out. Be a friend to yourself. Admire the gifts that you bring to the world. Then we have December 24th. It's Christmas Eve. Rejoice and be glad that you have done action to develop the divinity within you, and you can better appreciate divinity in others. Give yourself a proud of respect. You are a gift from your God. And our last day, December 25th, love is the greatest gift. You are double blessed if you share it. Love shows if you share it. So, that is Divinity Week. And any questions?
Wow. That was a lot of information, Mama D. That was a lot of information. And we are most grateful for it because we started the day out with Divinity Day and didn't even know it. Because as you said, we are giving honors from sunset to sunrise to be still and know and give thanks, because without it, nothing else can thrive until we have made that decision to do just that. So we are most grateful for the wisdom of you, Mama D. And we are joined this morning by families from all over the world. We are most gracious for my right hand, who does not even live here in the United States, but she's in Thailand. And I'm going to try to pronounce her name right, as I did Saturday, where she helped on the Teen Talent Contest. Her name is Janatun Yaim, and her family are both watching. And I hope I got that name right, Janatun Yaim, and she's from Thailand. She is my right hand. So thank you so very much for your commitment and dedication to the Teen Talent Contest and the Female Solution and the Higher Learning TV show, in which we are broadcasting live on all of those platforms. As we go to the phone, Mama D, we've got our other sister, Maika, joining us this morning too here on the Female Solution. Grand Rising, Sister Maika, thank you for joining us.
Grand Rising, thank you for having me on your show today.
Thank you.
Happy Solstice Day.
Yes, happy Winter Solstice Day, promoting the culture of self-esteem in this day and age, because so much self-hate is among us until today. Until today, people, because the energy is changing, the portals are open, we have the possibilities to promote that which inspires us, which keeps us true to our higher self, our highest consciousness. So thank you all for having this forum, and thank you, Naima Latif, for having the vision to bring us all together on this very important day. We salute all of my sisters of the microphone, as well as those who are listening who are not here with us today. Micah, and you have a show coming up tomorrow too. What is that about?
The show tomorrow, which I haven't put it up yet, but it's going to be a 4-part series.
Ooh.
First is self-care, self-love. The second is institutional development, the home. The third portion is marriage in the 21st century. And the fourth is motherhood in the 21st century. And so we're going to look at how the 21st century will change the ways in which we relate to ourselves and each other on tomorrow.
Because we absolutely will, because mothering is everything. Self-hate is so deep ingrained in our society. I love what Naima says. We've been conditioned to allow something outside of ourselves to control ourselves. We've given away our power, and we don't have to. And that is exactly what Mama D alludes to in Divinity Week, not just day, which started on the 18th, but the whole week is just to be still before we do anything. And that's what we should do every day, is to get quiet and be still and spend some time with self, listening. I love it in the morning when it's quiet. No phones, no cell phone, no computers, no nothing. Just me and a cup of tea, having a conversation with the ancestors. And that's what I do every morning. And Naeem, I see that great big old smile on your face. I know you do, because waking up at 5:55, I should say waking up at 4, getting ready for that 5:55 message. Is your mic muted?
No.
Okay, loud and clear. There you go.
I just was silently listening. But the significant thing that Mama D said is divinity within.
Yes.
And for too long, we have been given the incorrect belief that you have to go somewhere else to find God, and you have to be worthy to find God, or you have to go through somebody else to get to God. And that has never been the reality. There's always been divinity within. That's where God speaks to you, from inside of you, not from outside, where someone else has to tell you what God meant on this scripture or what God said in this book, because God speaks to you inside of you. And that's what prayer is. Prayer is a two-way conversation. It's not you just say some things and, hope something happens. You put forth your thought, your feeling, your even request, and you get quiet and listen for the answer. It's just like when you're talking on the telephone or having a conversation. If you want to get some information from someone, you say what you have to say, and then you be quiet and listen. Because if you keep talking, then you won't hear the answer. You have to be quiet and listen. And this is how we get the answers we need and the guidance we need from the divine energy of creation. So when we know this, and we know that there is no one who can make us less than who we are, then we can ignore everybody else's opinion about what we are, whether they claim we're less than human or less than worthy. We can ignore that, because their opinions don't matter. The only opinion that matters is our Creator, and our Creator has let us know that we are expressions of divinity. Divinity is within. So with that knowledge, nothing can stop us. Nothing can make us not perform our best. Nothing can take away our creativity. Nothing can diminish our intelligence. There is nothing anyone can do that can make us less than who we are. So our acknowledging of what the ancestors went through is significant, because what we see is the triumph of the spirit over the greatest and attempts to crush us and make us less than who we are, to define us as people that were despised by God, and then to try to deny us access to knowledge and to make it even illegal to be given knowledge, and all of that. None of it worked. At this moment, we have still risen and reclaimed our divinity. So it's a story of triumph, and we should celebrate.
And celebrate we are right here with my sisters of the microphone. Executive producer Naima Latif, and my sister of the microphone for Tuesday. Let's talk about it with Maika, and my all-time wisdom with Mama D, who brought Divinity Day. We had a discussion. We have a discussion every Sunday. We have a weekly call of all the hosts together. And we discuss what's going on, like the HWPL, the Peace Summit that's coming up next week on Saturday as well. We're going to talk about that in just a minute when we come back from the commercial break. So you stay close, Mama D and Maika, right here on the Female Solution. We'll be back.
About finances, family, health, job, relationships. Are you in pain? Do you feel stuck? If you answer yes to any of these questions, help is available. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's part of the human process. And when you feel this way because you haven't mastered the voices in your head. No hype, just down-to-earth, solid, workable tools and techniques that you can practice daily. It's really food for the soul. Whether you want to learn how not to worry about anything, reverse type 2 diabetes, publish your book, promote the product or service, or just make extra money. To take advantage of the deal of the day, go to ZeldaSpeaks.com or call 212-409-6619. Mention promo code a female solution and get free shipping. That's ZeldaSpeaks.com or 312-409-6619. Stop worrying today. Visit ZeldaSpeaks.com. What happens when a group of people are kidnapped from their homes, smuggled away in chains, and held captive in a foreign land where they are tortured, raped, and forced to perform hard labor by the lash of a whip and under the constant threat of death? Slavery, the African American psychic trauma. What happens to the doctors, writers, scientists, builders, educators, and spiritual leaders from Africa's golden age? Who did they really capture and sell into slavery? Are all African Americans suffering from psychic trauma because of a conspiracy to hide their true identities? Do you have psychic trauma? Take the test on page 22 of the book and see. Order it online today at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. And get your personally autographed copy of the book, Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma. I'm Beata, your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com also review my 3-step protocol to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholistiklifecoach.com, and I'm Bianca.
Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us back here on The Female Solution. I'm your host, ZeldaSpeaks. Welcome to Monday Morning Mindfulness, and I'm joined by my sisters of the microphone today, Executive Director Naima Latif, Maika Bevel. Let's talk about it with Maika, and also Wisdom with Mama D, our elder of the group, who just gives us so much love and light and energy in her words of wisdom. Mama D, talking about divinity today and how we as the elders are responsible for the millennials, this next generation that's here, who has just simply taken over. And in their takeover, not all of them have been reminded, and it's our responsibility as the elders to remind them of what's going on this planet and how they are responsible for the next generation of millennials. I don't know what they'll call them under them, because this is not a one-time project. This is an ongoing life series, a way of being, because divinity is a self-productive way of being, honoring the ancestors who came before us, the struggle, and all that is still going on, and how we can move beyond this self-hatred as the Jim Crow genocide, as Mama D expresses it as. I never thought of that, Mama D. When I first heard you say Jim Crow genocide, I was like, wow, okay, I remember Jim Crow, but I never looked at it in that light, from that perspective. And it is in that way of thinking that we can grow consciously, universally, to be that which we were designed to be. Oh, we've got some calls on the line. 3-1.
Could I just what said about genocide?
Please, Mama D.
Okay. Yeah. The definition of genocide is Article 1, killing members of the group. It doesn't apply to all groups, just slavery, torture, and genocide. And killing members of the group is number 1. Number 2, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. On May 17, 1954, when the Supreme Court ruled that in the ground rules of education decision that the children had suffered so much heart and mind, so much inferiority damage, that it was doubtful that they would ever overcome it. 6 years old when you get it, and it's doubtful that you will ever overcome it. That is irreparable harm, and that is serious. And it is serious by definition with genocide. The children were not counseled, they were not helped in any way. So we grew up with that self-esteem, inferiority damage. We passed it on down to our children untreated. They're in their 50s. They passed it down to their children untreated. They're in their 30s. They have passed it down to their children untreated. And so we're talking about 2 separate issues that have never been detailed. Not only the 246 years of not even being a person, because chattel means movable property, and you had no rights. You were poverty free, whether you were emancipated or not. And then, so we need to comprehend that when we say Jim Crow genocide, that is not a stretch. That is a people of you can't use food, drink water, or use the toilet or any other human being. So that's where that comes from. But I did tell you about spiritual succession. I drafted the resolution for Divinity Days in Chicago because there was going to be no market, no history, no this, because none of the arguments would come forth and do it. So the person is drafted, and the child physically succeeded. Once the United States of America to keep black bodies, nobody else, but the blacks have no right to their identity or not. So it's perpetuated. So now is the time for us to spiritually see from the whole systemic system of subordination and see us like new beings on the planet Earth. If you visit the millennium, we have a bill again. I drafted a resolution. It is House Bill 4954. It is now pending in Springfield. And what it will do is to put the January 15th, April 4th, and August 28th, 3 visually acclaimed days that affirm January 15th, white colors, the principles of human and civil rights. We are the people to do this because we are the people that did not have those rights by law for 226 years. So we focus on that. January 15th, Dr. King's actual birthday. And April 4th, we were at the Dakota Grant, and we focused on the principles of nonviolence and learned with it that we ourselves for us. We had no army, no air force, no navy, no marines, no federal state, no city police to fight against the injustices that we face. So we put ourselves for the people, with the force of the spirit against these forces, and those go down and those laws change. And then August 28th, where the Coast Black Band was accepted in reference for present and conviction of missing children who are applications of domestic violence and survivors of rape and incest. So that is what we deal with on April 4th, when visual family and Facebook is a man by way of the color black. On August 28th, spiritual and moral principles of righteousness, justice, the word country-based justice, so we are the color black and white. So these days will go on the school calendar. That's part of civic history, because when you change the brain, you can transform the behavior. It will not happen any other way. So that is what is now pitching for the millennium, because everybody has told his story. And this is an opportunity for the survivors of genocide to come into the classroom, just like if you want to know survivors. If you want to know about genocide, you go to the genocide survivors. You'll actually be able to go into the classroom and put our truth from our experience on the table for the first time. And so that's a bill that's sponsored by Representative Jeff
LaShawn Ford.
Yes, so it's sending and it's picked up an awful lot of sponsors. But if you, as your state rep, or your state senator, to sponsor this bill, because we have the wearing of the color green for the leprechaun and a lot of the categories get on the school calendar. These days will go on the school calendar. How do you look at it? If you have a work, if it has those working tradition, it becomes a negligible factor in the thoughts of the world that stands in danger of being exterminated. So when we said 100 schools closed in Chicago under Renaissance City Band, and then 50 schools closed at one time, and all of those schools, the first one, maybe 2 or 3, were named after black heroes and sheroes. So we get all of their history was thrown away. Now there is a free going to put all the people like James Brown and other great black people and put them in the homosexual category. So we're going to lose all of that history. We're going to lose both the bands from the rights and the Monica from the because we have heard thousands of the continent and the people living on the continent. They say, I'm from Syria, I'm a Syrian.
Mama D, you breaking up real bad. I heard you say 4954. Maybe you when you get in a different location, it'll be a little better. But in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna go to the phone line 706-202. Grand Rising, you're live on the Female Solution. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Grand Rising, happy winter solstice. This is Brother Kwame.
Grand Rising, Brother Kwame. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the info that you sent me last night on the summer solstice. So thank you so very much for bringing that information to my attention, because you know all about the planet, the suns and the stars and the moons and the Australia and all that. So thank you so very much for sharing that and share with our audience this morning.
Well, I appreciate you, and I thank you also for being there. But the part for me, and it's the winter solstice, not summer solstice.
Yes.
And Mama D is very much on point, because in us being elders, we have, and she is eloquently speaking to it, is that we can no longer be generational thieves, because I remember Baba Hannibal Afrique, and he was very adamant about making October African Holocaust Month. And he petitioned and tried and attempted to do that, but never got it done. But we're in a point right now with this alignment of Jupiter in Aquarius that we've experienced being elders. For myself, and I was just sitting here writing about it, is that I came on the planet in 51, and then I was able to see a new millennium in 2001 and become 50. And now I'm getting ready to see a new era begin in the 2000 year journey that happens with the alignment of Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius at 0 point, which will be around 12 o'clock your time today, because it's rising right behind the sun. And it will be exactly in Aquarius at 0 degrees. But what we're also getting ready to experience in 2021 will be the 70th anniversary of what Ms. Mama D was talking about, We Charge Genocide. Because there was a petition done by William Patterson, W.E.B. Du Bois, and Paul Robeson to the UN, United Nations, in charging them with genocide. And so we have been fighting this battle, even became the part of UNESCO when they did the report in 1975 in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, in which they had all of the active countries that were in the Atlantic slave trade, and giving an estimate of what captives that they brought out. And there's an excellent 3 CD-ROM set you can go online in the Atlantic slave trade by David Eltis. He's at Emory University. And you can download all of this information about where they were picked up, where they were brought from. But in their estimate, they said that what was lost in the slave trade from 1455 till the 1800s was an estimate somewhere between 200 and 210 million were lost. That means from the captive on the land and those that died, until the ones that died on the slave ships coming over, that they said. So we can look at it and say, they talk about 6 million, but we're looking at 200 million.
Wow. The numbers are always off.
Yeah, the numbers are off, but what they're doing now with they have the tech. See, David Eltis, when he taught at Canada, and because my thing is from slavery to private prison. I study slavery from its concept that there were 7 slave trades this was the last one, the Atlantic slave trade, because you had Sahara, Trans-Sahara, Ottoman, you had the East African slave trade. So all of these different trades were done on the continent in the captive, because it wasn't slavery, it was captive from the battling between and doing that. The Atlantic was the one in which became chattel slavery. And this was the most hideous of the captives, because being taken off the continent and brought to the diaspora is what we are looking at. And this is what we have as a people here on Turtle Island, and which we had already been here, because they already had another slave, a trading of indigenous people down to the West Indies. So we've had many avenues of our captivity, but do we know all of our story of the captivity? Because this is the 400th year, and even this is the 400th year of this alignment, because Saturn and Jupiter comes together, but coming together at this right now moment is a 4,000-year event. 2,000 years era of Pisces, and now beginning the 2,120-year era of Aquarius Leo. So we're here, and we've experienced the millennium from the 50s to the 2000s, now from this Piscean era to this Aquarian era. We've got a lot in which we've experienced to be here and pass to the millennials that are coming forward.
It is our responsibility to do just that. Well spoken, Brother Elder Kwame Sunhorse. If you just joined the conversation this morning, we thank you. And for those who have not joined the conversation but would like to voice their opinion, you can give us a call at 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak, and we will open your mic. And Jonathan Naeem, thank you so much for the appreciation and the pronunciation. Jonathan Naeem from Thailand, thank you so much, and her family. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here in America, and you're in Thailand. We're all over the world. This is a global experience. So thank you so very much for sharing that. As we go to the phone line, 312-823, I take another call. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. And your mic is open, 312-823. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Rashida Ali.
Rashida, thank you so much for calling this morning. Grand Rising.
Well, thank you. Thank you very kindly for accepting my call. You know, I'm thinking, I'm against genocide, homicide, and suicide. And seem like we American blacks are falling into all those modes. Even though reports by the Pentagon have shown that there have been a lot of homicides, and the reports were censored by Pentagon as well as the military, and it still reveals the war crimes committed. So yeah, we got the Pentagon and the military taking care of those homicides and genocide. But right here in our community, I don't care what you do. Whatever you do, the way you do it becomes a way of life, that's your religion. So it's not my religion to see in my community right here, hands up, we hear that both by all these teams and the kind of order of police saying that the slaves the Muslims to all be shot. Now, we're talking about what the Pentagon has to tell them, and always have had to tell them, and the military always has to tell them, including slavery. And we're thinking, like, to me, in my mind, a slave mind, because when those birds kill and rob the community and other people things, that's the way of life, and we are accepting it. That we can go march up there and all of it is talking about all the international affairs. What about that? The Chicago police, the County Order police say that all Muslims should be stopped. Now, I've been here a minority here in this city, and my grandson definitely was a minority. He was slow days, he was a gang, and last year he was a man taking care of his family and working. And he was shot over here. But here, we talking about what the Pentagon and the military and the slave master. It makes me feel like I'm in the slave time, the slave back. And all those who are penalty for the crime are already enslaved. And we're talking about something that we don't really have any control over as far as the Pentagon military and that's we call that a lawmaking system. It's insanity. We need to heal and we need to have people who are qualified to lead us to healing. Because this is confusing to me. I was shocked when I heard this little king say that all Muslims to be shot. Now, my grandson was a black Muslim, and he was shot by some black man, and the homicide was not done in Pentagon or in across the border.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Rashida. You said something very important: genocide, homicide, and suicide. I love what Brother Kwame quoted last week or the week before. I can't remember exactly what it is. He talked about menticide. Don't you agree, Naima?
Oh,
mental, all of the sides, because we have allowed ourselves, because we've forgotten who we are and the power we possess. We've forgotten who we are, and we have allowed them to get into our minds and commit mental suicide, mental genocide, mental homicide, all of the sides.
We have to remember we are, through our own free will, watching the brainwashing and programming on television every day. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and making you watch that. Nobody's making you absorb hour after hour after hour of images that depress you, that frighten you, that make you angry. No one's making you do that. You're choosing to put your energy, your focus, your attention on the worst behavior of humanity. And how does that make you feel on the inside? Mm-hmm. It makes you feel bad, but you're choosing to do that. It's just like if you had before you a plate of mud and a plate of your favorite food, spinach or whatever it may be, macaroni and cheese, but you have a choice and you choose to pick up a spoon and start eating the mud. I mean, you're choosing that. You have a choice, but you choose the thing that would make you sick, that's not nutritious for you, that is going to harm your insides. You choose that of your own free will, and there is alternatives. One of the things that we're so grateful for to be part of the On Air Network, which is a global guide to programming that is uplifting, empowering, and enlightening. And we have a whole entire global network of communicators, of course, included are those on the Female Solution, people who are giving us information and knowledge and encouragement and helping to remind us of who we are and the power that we have. So you can go to these programs, subscribe to these YouTube channels, these podcasts, these websites, and hear ongoing, daily, everyday inspiration, uplifting information, empowering knowledge that will change your perspective of reality. And it will literally change your life because you are going to be living in a different reality. You can choose that. And there are so many alternatives to the garbage that we're deciding to feed ourselves every day, instead of the empowering knowledge that divinity is within, and to use that power and how to go about deprogramming. As Rashida speaks about, we need help, we need healing. Well, these are presenters that give you healing, and many of them, from Iyanla Van Zandt to Oprah Winfrey. We've even got listings of shows you may not be aware of, some who are very powerful in what they do, and can definitely give you information that you have never heard in a classroom in school, because it
in
is
school.
a reality that we have not been given access to. And if we knew it exists, we would change our opinion about ourselves and the world we live in. So go to the On Air Network, and every morning, this is why I'm committed to every morning at 5:55, before a lot of the programs, start the day. I'm referring you to one of those presenters who's giving you powerful information. I give the link to the show. All you got to do is tap on the link, and they will give you a lesson in life that will change your day. It will bring you inner peace, because you're going to learn something about yourself and the world that you had not considered. And most of all, the power that you have to create. So there are a lot of people that are aware of something that's been called the split, something that's been called the shift. The earth itself is actually moving into a different dimension, a different vibration, a different frequency. And there is literally a split between the old and the new, even though we're all existing in the same physical space. If you are of a different consciousness, your reality is going to be different, even though we're all existing in the same space. And I'll give you an example. Now, there are people who are suffering in fear and dread every day, and feeling confined and angry at their spouse, their children, and just feeling like they're suffering because of this pandemic. And there are people who are so much enjoying the freedom to stay home and enjoy their homes and relax and work from home. They're enjoying this peaceful time to commune with themselves, to talk to God and not be rushed and have to run out everywhere. They are enjoying life. This is heaven for them. Now, the same condition is for everybody existing, but there are people who are experiencing it different because of their state of mind. And so their reality is different. And what they are creating for themselves is different. They're creating a loving, peaceful, joyful home because of the way they think and the way they perceive this reality. And there are other people who are watching the television, listen to the death reports every day, and frightened to death that they're going to get zapped with a virus and suffer and die. And they're so obsessed and focused on that, they can't enjoy life. And so they're living in hell while people in the same condition are living in heaven. Heaven and hell exist in the same spot, the same place. It's where your mind is, where your consciousness is, where your belief system is. That's what's going to depend on what you experience. And that's what's happening here on the earth. You have people that are suffering right now. And they choose to suffer because they've chosen to eat the mud instead of that plate of delicious food. And it's by their own free will. So we urge you to go to onaireverywhere.com and go to the On Air TV, radio and TV guide and subscribe to those shows and choose those programs by these wonderful communicators from all around the world. Our dear sister ZeldaSpeaks included, of course, with the Higher Learning Network. And we want you to change your mind.
Because you have the choice.
You have the choice.
It's with you. It's not out there. It's not on TV. It's not on your cell phone. Yes, you can, but I need you to hold that thought. We need to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back, Brother Kwame.
Oh, man. God sent the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark. Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456, and schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456.
Have you ever dreamed of going to exotic places, meeting fascinating people, enjoying uplifting music, and spending nights in a luxurious hotel? Do you look forward to a relaxing vacation where you can walk along the beach or sit in a quiet park and enjoy the sunset or sunrise? Whether you're flying around the world or driving across the country, we will share travel tips that will help you stay safe while you enjoy the journey. Join me every third Saturday of the month, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and move around with Deborah here on the Female Solutions Show. Call in and comment 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif. Join me and my co-host Kareem Hamid every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution Radio Show as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-205-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host. Or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution. Is your romantic partner fit for a long-term relationship? Are you? Do you know the signs to look for? Do you know the signs of unfitness for intimacy? Hi, I'm Wendy Williams-Deloach Esquire, attorney at law. After 30 years in the courtroom as a family law attorney, I have handled enough cases to recognize 4 distinct characteristics that make a person simply unfit for marriage and parenting. How has the past practice of slavery and slave breeding in America affected our present-day behavior in our relationship? How can we change the current trend of 35% of Black children being born into and raised by single mothers as fatherless households? Join me every Thursday morning at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time here on the Female Solution. And here we will examine African American intimate relationships. Call in and comment 515-605-9325 and share your thoughts with me. I'm Wendy Williams-Deloach, Esquire.
It is 8:37 here on the Female Solution Grand Rising. If you're just joining us this morning, Wisdom with Mama D is Divinity Day. Wisdom with Mama D and the millennials, and they matter. It is our responsibility to move them forward in this experience that we're having. Winter solstice is the topic that Brother Elder Kwame Sunhorse was about to speak on before we went to the commercial break. Brother Kwame, are you still with us?
Check your mute.
Check your mute, Brother Kwame. You're live on the Female Solution.
Oh, yeah, I was muted.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was muted.
Mm-hmm.
And we were speaking, and I'm most grateful for our sister Latif. And what we're speaking to is God, and we're each speaking to our God self. And that energy in which we're speaking is what GOD, generating our divinity. How are we generating this divinity that we are the image of the Creator? And this is what we're doing by sharing our words, because words are what they say in First John. Is in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. We're having a God force by generating the words of how do we free ourselves from none but ourselves could free our mind. And once we began to understand how to use the right words, we were once slaves, but we are no longer that. We're born free. Everyone comes out of the womb of the mother free. And it's in the choosing of how do you go about keeping your freedom or allowing yourself to become enslaved. So, and I'm grateful for the part you said about Bobby E. Wright, who was there in Chicago at 55th and Garfield, had that mental health institute. And he is the one who coined the phrase of menticide, because it is through the mental suicide. But Mama D was speaking about Jim Crow genocide. So we have to understand now they moved from Jim Crow because we have been given our civil rights as they say it. But we also need to look at our human rights. And this is where they're trying to create the new algorithms and the AI to create the new Jim Code. They're writing algorithms and programs and this weapon of mass destruction called a cell phone. What we're utilizing as a tool to keep this programming going because it enters it enter, and this is what Naeem was talking about in the television. It tells the business. Now technology has created it to where we just walk around with it, and it keeps us introduced. Because when we go into nature and we get away from the technology, we come back to the natural order of the frequency, and this is the first internet. We're netted to the earth. And once we learn how to reconnect to it, because we need an overground railroad, we need to create oases. And oases are nothing but OASIS, is our ancestor spirit in service. When we come back into nature, nothing will help service, because we're related to everything that is within nature. And we have been given this opportunity to choose between being urban, which means you are banned from nature, or coming back to nature. We have to choose.
Wow, urban. I love that. Urban. You are banned from nature. And we are pretty much, because we're in what is referred to as the concrete jungle. Thank you so much for that, Brother Kwame, Sunhorse. It is imperative that we understand the importance of this day, because we are in control. They have us thinking that we're not in control, but we really are. Isn't that right, Mama D?
Well, when you've had 330 years of federal laws against a group of people, and no one has ever dealt with the cause, it's what's wrong with you instead of what happened to you. You got to get happened to you, and the 18th, the United Nations is the greatest Holocaust in the history of time, and we have not been silent about that. And so we want this as the evidence one is to be an annual national service, not a holiday, but also a service like we observe Easter or St. Patrick's Day. These are not holidays, but they are on calendar. You must be renewed in your mind. When you change your brain, you change your thinking, you will transform the behavior. And it's not going to happen any other way. And what is wrong with millennials is that they haven't been loved in the truth, and they have not been told the truth that will make them free. So we need people the 18 to of the victims of the transatlantic slave trade and Jim Crow genocide survivors. And it is a human right that was taken away. Can you imagine the United Nations says the greatest Holocaust in the history of humankind? Because there's a lot of 6 billion and 200 billion.
There's a
and we no longer, stay in denial. So that spiritual suppression is not a physical move, but it is a time of visible affirmation. So the mind, you the soul, and you use the covenant with the Creator in the spirit of we are one, in the spirit of prayer, speech we are one. And so this is where we are. And
was that bill number 4954, Mama D? Was that House Bill number 4954?
4954.
Yes, presented by State Rep LaShawn Ford. So we need to stay on our representatives to ensure that that bill in Springfield goes through. Let's take another call. 312-597. You're live on the Female Solution. Grand Rising, what's your name? And where are you calling from? 312-597.
I'm calling from Chicago. Good morning, Shalom.
Grand Rising. That sounds like Carol.
It is Carol.
Thank you so much for calling, Carol.
I'm enjoying the program this morning, and as I listen to Naima and you and Kwame, I thought about the late 60s, early 70s when the Nation of Islam had placards in their windows that said, select the things that go into your mind. And I think that, ties into some of what I heard this morning. We are in control and we make the choices in terms of what we allow in.
Yes, we are. And until we decide that we are in charge, things will continue to be the way they are. But just know that we have the power. So thank you so much for calling and sharing that, Carol. Greatly appreciate that.
Thank you.
And thank us. Let's take another call. 708-431. You're live on the Female Solution. Grand Rising. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Z. This is Q calling from Maywood. How are you,
Dr. Quincy, thank you for calling us this morning. Grand Rising. Welcome to the Female Solution. What's your comment or question, Dr. Quincy?
Yeah, it's always an honor to be here. A couple of quick items. Want to thank Brother Kwame for those wonderful comments this morning, Mama as well, and Sister Naima. Number one, I want to emphasize that while we're on what may be the downside of this pandemic, because of the vaccines that have been found, we have to be careful for at least another 6 months. And that's unavoidable. So you still need to mask, you still need to socially distance, and those things need to be observed. We don't need to lose another human being if it's avoidable. Second point I want to make is I want to thank so much Black America in total for going out in voting numbers that were just inconceivable almost. In fact, your president still can't believe he lost. He brought 74 million people, Republicans, out to vote for him. And he just doesn't understand that Mr. Biden brought out 80 million and beat him. He just can't wrap his brain around that. And that's one of those things, but I'll tell you, the only place where I go, and the one near it, for 2 weeks during early voting, if you drove by there, the line was 3 blocks long. And it remained 3 blocks long that entire time.
Wow.
It reminded me of South Africa when Mandela.
Yes. It was like that.
Yes.
They wouldn't stop.
Yes.
And I kept thinking, if we keep that kind of pressure on, we can at least get that off of our back, having this fellow in the White House who simply doesn't want the job and doesn't want to do the job.
Right.
And thanks be to God, we were successful in that endeavor.
Amen. And thank you so much for calling in, for sharing that information on Divinity Day right here. Wisdom with Mama D on the Female Solution. If you're live, if you're watching online, we are live on Facebook.com, HLN TV show, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 at Channel 19. I don't know where that noise is coming from, but also on the YouTube channel on Higher Learning TV show. We'd love to have all of your comments and questions. Feel free to put them here in the chat books as we are live. So thank you so very much for sharing that information, Dr. Quincy. We appreciate you, and we know you have to go into the office, and I probably need to be there with you, looking at my teeth and looking at Naima's teeth. She got them big, pretty white teeth, and my teeth are just as yellow as they can be. My husband told me a long time ago, stop drinking all that tea, girl. And it's like, I can't stop drinking it. I love my rooibos tea, my green tea, my moringa tea, every kind of tea you name of, I got it. And I'm not doing the teeth whitening. I'm sorry. I'm not going there. I'm just going to have yellow teeth. I'm sorry. Somebody got to have them. It might as well be me. You know what? In some countries, like in my back in the day, I had a dentist that was German. Excellent work he did, but I noticed his teeth were dingy as hell, if I can say that. And I asked him, "How can you be a dentist with dingy teeth?" He said, "In my country, that's not that's not important." I forgot where it was in Germany. He said, "That's an American thing." And I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Oh, okay." So I just began to watch people of other countries and look at their teeth. And I must be from another country too, because my teeth are not white. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing. Yes.
You're in a country with koala nut. Their teeth are brown. You'll see that on some East Indian, also some African countries. It's not that unusual. Their teeth are very healthy, but the color of them is brown from the nuts themselves or from coffee, the type of coffee they drink. And you're right, it is not a thing they concern themselves with. It became a thing because of Hollywood in black and white movies.
Yes.
What they'd actually those stars is they would put all their teeth and place on like bridges. And so that became a standard in America.
Wow.
Here more so. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for that, Dr. Q. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I love you dearly. I've got to go. I love you dearly, but we will talk soon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Q. Thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate that. Wow. That's good information. See, that's why I love this show, because I always learn something. Did I take 407-701, Naima?
Nope, not yet. That's our sister.
Oh, that is my sister of the microphone. Sister Viata, welcome to the Female Solution Grand Rising, my sister. Thank you for joining us this morning. Viata. Grand Rising.
I'm on the run. Unfortunately, I couldn't show my face this morning because I'm delivering some raw milk to a friend who has an immune problem, but she's doing so much better. I said, let me bring you your raw milk. So,
what is raw milk? Explain to us what raw milk is, Viata. What's raw milk?
It hasn't been pasteurized. It's coming straight from the cow, and that's her best nutrition to get her body back after adrenal gland exhaustion. She's doing wonderful. She's been on steroids, and she's been weaning herself on steroids. So raw milk has been advised for her to take because it's full of enzymes. Raw milk has more enzymes than pasteurized cooked milk. So it's just unpasteurized milk straight from the cow, basically. We have farmers around here who provide, it's supposed to be pet milk, but it's raw milk for a human body. So anyway, that's why I'm in my car right now.
Okay.
Sitting in front of, but I wanted to just thank Mama D for reminding us of who we are. And I don't think Divinity Day should stop on Christmas. It needs to be a daily affirmation because if we had, I was just thinking, if we had all been affirming our divinity every day, we wouldn't be in this corona mess we're in, or this corona adventure. We would be reminded that, no, we're not 3/5 of a person. We're actually 100% divine. And if we all start every morning reminding ourselves how divine we are, not just stopping on this week, But every day, let it be a reminder. We don't need to listen to any other voices. Just listen to the voice of the Most High, not any voices from our past. We can just listen every morning and remind ourselves who we really are. And we can come out of this pandemic with victory, and we won't need a mask. We won't need vaccination. We won't need any of that because our divinity overpowers all this egomaniac nonsense we're hearing. So thank you, Zelda, for a great show, and I hope everyone will continue to be divine throughout the rest of the year. We have a battle going on. It's a spiritual battle. We have a political battle going on, and it won't be decided really until January, because I just heard a news break that the Congress has to decide on this election on January 6th. So just stay in your divine mind and keep those affirmations of I love you going. Thank you. Everybody have a great day.
Well, thank you so much, my sister of the microphone, Health and Wellness host Viata, on Fridays from 7 until 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and Sunday, Soul Purpose Healing from 12 noon until, from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Mama D, you want to give us a closing thought?
Well, Divinity Day comes, the word comes from, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but have divine power for pulling down strongholds of evil. And so we've had holidays and we've had holy days, but the Divinity Day, like Atonement Day, October 16th and December 18th, have divine power. That's what it's about, getting that spiritual divinity from the source. Saturday, we're going to be, if to be the first day of Kwanzaa, we're going to do the 7 principles as it relates to the Bible. A Black history book when you worship in spirit and in truth.
Amen.
So I thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama D. We greatly appreciate you. And thank you for being Wisdom with Mama D, and we'll be joining you on Saturday. Thank you so very much. Brother Kwame, you want to give us a closing thought? As you unmute yourself, or Naima can give us a closing thought. Well, Naima, you'll be joining me at 9 o'clock for the Empowerment Hour. Did I close Brother Kwame's mic? Yes, I did. Okay, Brother Kwame, I just opened your mic up. You want to give us a closing thought before we leave today?
Yes. And I just want to thank Mama D for, this Divinity Day. I mean, we're really, what we're doing is we're owning who we are and celebrating it in the way that we know that we should do it, and not the way in which they want us to do it. Because right there in Chicago is where Jake Carruthers and Milana Kalinga and Anderson Thompson sat there with the Hosea and deciphered it to bring about what we today serve or have as a holiday as Kwanzaa, our first fruit. And so it's in that we have to name ourselves, define ourselves, and be ourselves. So these are our truths.
Amen. Thank you so very much for sharing those truths. We appreciate you. We will be staying over a little bit later from 9 until 9:30, because coming at 9 o'clock, we always have the Family Empowerment Hour from 9 until 9:30. So if you are on the switchboard and you would like to comment, I suggest you press the number 1 right now. Otherwise, you'll be cut off at 9 o'clock when the show is officially over. But we go half hour overwards. But the blog talk may kick you off. So do keep that in mind. I do believe I got to all of the calls. Did I not, Naima?
Let's see. I think you got everybody. And for those who want to stay on and continue our conversation, there you are. And of course, press 1 if you haven't had a chance to speak and would like something to say.
And I forgot to mention that if you're on social media on Instagram, how did I forget Instagram? I've got 3 Instagram accounts. Don't ask me how that happened. ZeldaSpeaks has no posts. Can you believe that? None.
Oh my!
This technology is just woo. But on ZeldaSpeaks, the number 2 and the letter U, That's where you can post. And so
Okay.
ZeldaSpeaks 2, the number 2, and you.
All right. There we go.
And if you want to contact me during the week, you can always go to facebook.com or higherlearningnetwork.org, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19. And our YouTube channel, we're broadcasting live there too. YouTube.com, Higher Learning TV show. And I want to thank you for being a part of this experience with us this morning. Be sure and join us tomorrow. Let's talk about it with Maika. Wednesday, Naima Latif and Kareem Hamid, repairing family relationships. Thursday, Family Matters with Wendy City Deloach, Esquire, our attorney here on the Female Solution. Friday, Health and Wellness with Beata. Saturdays, Jana Brooks from London, England, Nonviolent Communication. Love, Joy, Empowers. Move Around with Deborah, and Wisdom with Mama D. They're all on Saturdays, and they're from 12 noon until 2 p.m. And on Sunday, 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Soul Purpose Healing. And as the show comes to an end, ta-da! Hope you press 1 if you want to speak, because otherwise you might not get a chance to speak. It is officially 9 a.m. and it is time for the after show on the Female Solution. It is the Empowering Family Empowerment Hour. And we welcome to the stage the one and only executive producer, the mastermind of the Female Solution. And that would be my sister of the microphone, Naima Latif, with those pretty white teeth. But I'm learning how to love my brown teeth too. Thank you, Dr. Q.
Actually, they look white and pearly to me.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Well, we appreciate all of you all who stayed with us on our switchboard and those who continue to listen in. You know, you can tell when your show is growing, when you can't stop it, when it's time to stop, people still want to keep going. So I think all of our hosts have had to do an after show after the show.
Yeah.
So we might have to go on and extend our contract with Blog Talk to be a 3-hour day show. But, you know, I'm grateful for our visual image that we can project and interact with our listening and viewing audience. This Saturday, I am so excited because we have our second Global Peace Summit, and it's going to be from 9 a.m. Central Time to 3 p.m. Central Time, live on our Female Solution Facebook page, but we're also sharing it with all of our sisters Facebook, so everybody can join in and participate. I'm going to give you a rundown because we are, and I believe Mama D coined this new phrase, we are not just revolutionaries, we're solutionaries.
All right.
So we are presenting solutions, and I'm grateful for all of those who are participating from across the country and around the world, and those who have been creating remedies for our distressed situations so that we can benefit from the wisdom of those who have made things happen in a powerful way. But at 9 o'clock, we're going to start out basically introducing our concept. This is, of course, the first day of Kwanzaa unity, as Mama D pointed out. So, and as she said, she's going to give us, well, of course, at 9 o'clock, we're going to basically give our viewers and listeners a rundown of who will be presenting and what they have to offer. And then at 9:20, we're going to show the film Injustice. And this is a very moving documentary that we want our audience to see and experience, to remind us of the ugliness that has transpired, not just in America, but in other countries, and what citizens of London have experienced. Many of us who are angry at Anjanette Young and her humiliation at the hands of those police, this is not the only place and time this has happened. And we need to be angry and outraged because we need to take that energy and turn it into transformative action that changes things. So after the showing of the film at 11 o'clock, Ken Farrell from London will join us. He's the producer and director of the film, and we'll be talking about its ramifications in terms of what needs to change inside of those who we have given the responsibility of keeping our community safe. And somehow it's twisted into something very sinister that really has to end. And so at 11:30, we're going to be joined by representatives of HWPL, Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light. This is a global organization founded by Chairman Man-hee Lee of South Korea. And he has been diligently pursuing the adoption of what has been developed by many national leaders in law who have come up with a document called the DPCW, the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War. 10 articles that basically outline how we are to interact as individuals, as government with citizens, as nations between each other. And if we follow these principles, we will solve these problems. So he's been presenting this document to all government leaders and to the United Nations. Many have adopted the DPCW, but we still, of course, have had resistance from some of the most powerful nations, such as the United States. Mm-hmm. And because the United States has been, unfortunately, one that has been in violation of so many others' rights in America and abroad, it's really important for us to adopt these principles. So we're going to look at strategies for adopting them state by state. And we'll talk about that because that's one of the things that can begin to change things. If every city and every state adopt principles of conduct and behavior and interaction, particularly between law enforcement and citizens, then we can end this abuse that we've been experiencing. Mm-hmm. So at 12 o'clock, we're going to have a very special gathering. And this is very significant. We have men and women who have been in the trenches in our streets. And as Rashida speaks about, and I love her passion, the crime that we commit against ourselves, we have to face ourselves. And we have to look at what it is that is creating this violence. But there have been individuals and organizations that have been very powerful and very effective in bringing peace between the street organizations, between warring factions, and between those who have been the perpetrators of crime in our communities. They've been very, very effective. And we're bringing some of these people together along with members of the police who have been adversaries in the eyes of many of the community. And their point of view is, well, you all call us to help save you from these criminals, and then you get mad at us when we do our job. So we have to bring these various factions together. Clergy who have been working in trying to bring people to a spiritual understanding, but sometimes have been seen with hostility by those who are part of the street organizations as people who have sold us out because perhaps they're financially affluent, or maybe they have favor with the government. So there's a lot of hostility between these various factions, but we're going to bring them all together at that 12 o'clock hour. And of course, Mama D, whose show is on the fourth Saturday, she'll be giving, as she said, that insight on the spiritual foundation of that set of principles of Kwanzaa, that first principle of unity, umoja. And as we look at that and look at how can we incorporate those principles in bringing unity to these various conflicting factions that are keeping our communities unstable and unsafe, that will give us an opportunity to lay a foundation for what comes next. Because at the 1 o'clock hour, we're going to have Jana from London school us on nonviolent communication, NVC, a means of us speaking to each other and listening to each other and understanding each other's point of view, so that rather than us seeing ourselves as enemy combatants, we can have compassion and understanding, and we can begin to build bridges of brotherhood and sisterhood between those who have seen themselves as enemies. So this will be a very powerful session at the 1 o'clock hour. And of course, at 2 o'clock, we're going to look at policy-wise, how do we change things? And we'll be joined by representatives of A Few Good Women and others who are part of a coalition of women that are gathering, and they're building a coalition of 1,000 women to address police abuses by creating a lawsuit that addresses the abuses of human rights, because we have to take it beyond civil rights. We have to address the human violation that has to stop. It's what's traumatized us, as has been said, and we need to, first of all, use our law that has been laid before us as a means of protection and put it to work. And that is the means whereby we get compensation for those who've been violated, and actions of holding those accountable who have been responsible for the violations. And one that this coalition is looking to work with is our own attorney, Wendy Williams DeLoach, and assisting her and her law firm, assisting in what it takes to research and put together this lawsuit on all of our behalf. And these are the actions that change policy. So, of course, we appreciate this effort because it's beyond symbolic. It's changing those principles. And we're looking at legislation, laws that exist, but laws that may need to be enhanced to protect the rights of citizens. And we've invited some of our lawmakers. And of course, it is their participation in creating the documents that get voted on by our elected officials that change policy. So we're looking at litigation and legislation as a tool to change what has happened and what will happen in the future to keep our citizens safe. So this is our solutionary practice in this Global Peace Summit, to end this summit with a strategy to change policy and to hold those people accountable that have violated us, and to connect this struggle globally, because the actions that we witness here in Chicago have been duplicated worldwide. And so once we make this connection, then we are all operating on the same playing field, and we're all operating as one. So this is the agenda for this coming Saturday, and we're so excited because we have people who are 100% committed to transformation and change.
And it starts at 9 a.m.?
Starts at 9 a.m. Central Time, which is, of course, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and 11 a.m. Pacific Time. And for those who are overseas, 3 p.m. GMT, which GMT, of course, is the time for the areas of London and Ghana and, that time zone. But of course, wherever you are, we will be live, and you will be able to see and hear and participate in this Global Peace Summit. So we're looking forward to interacting with our global family and giving all of our presenters a chance to share their successes and then develop a strategy that we all can collectively work toward and making change where we live.
And just in case you missed it, it is all happening this Saturday morning, 9 a.m. sharp Central Standard Time. And that is it until 3, from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m.?
3 p.m., yes.
Central Standard Time.
Yes.
So you have a 5-hour window to participate and invite all your friends and family and co-workers and the haters too, because they need love too. Invite them too. We ain't hating on nobody. So we have a chance to continue the process of keeping the peace, not only in the family, but in the world, because we all have to live here together. We are all on this planet together. And also coming up at noon, I forgot to mention before we left, the Blog Talk channel is round 2 of the Teen Talent Contest. The um, compilations are in by the judges. We had 27 candidates. Whoo, that was a lot.
Mm.
We had over 200, almost 300 submissions, and it's like, oh my God, I did not expect that. Children from all over the planet, Asia, Africa, the UK, Europe, everywhere, New Zealand, Australia, Dubai, Canada, you think of it. I'm like, where are all the kids from America? Do we have any? So we finally got some from, I think we got one from Chicago. As much talent as here is in Chicago, I was shocked. A couple from Chicago, a couple from Maryland, some out east, but you can go to our YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show. You see that logo, you'll know you're at the right place. And vote for the children. Listen to them, see which ones you like, because we're still taking votes. And from round 1, round 2 is this Saturday, 12 noon until 2 p.m.
Now, can people go and watch the talent? Where
they're all on the internet. They're on our channel, on a YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show. And they are listed by name and number, so you get a chance to vote for them. There's one little girl on there I had to take off. I think her name was Jasmine. She's 5 years old. Yeah, we had preteen, so we had a preteen selection. We wanted to discourage anyway, but we don't have her talent release form, so we have to remove her. It's just so adorable. So when we get it in, we'll pull it back up there. But in the meantime, please go to the channel and vote and share it and subscribe it. And that's how, one of the ways that you can help us get to 1,000. We're at 800.
All right. Yes, definitely. And these things are so significant.
Yeah.
The children that are being born now, they really are being born for this time. They have amazing talent.
Yes.
Just a spirit of resiliency. The things that they have lived through, and they still continue to laugh and express joy despite all of the devastating things that they witness on a day-to-day basis. Yep. And their talent just continues to explode because they are brilliant. And it's this energy that we're going to see that is transforming the world in which we live. They have just unlimited capabilities. And so we have to open the door and pave the way for them, because they are coming here to be a part of a new society. And all that we see in their manifestation of talent, skills, abilities, ingenuity, this is what we're going to see as a new earth, a new world, a new way of being. And so when we see this, we have to know they've been born for just this time. And that's why there's this explosion of talent, because it's through the arts that you transform a heart.
Yes, I love that. Through the arts. Gotta write that one down. Through the arts, we transform hearts. Oh, I love that. Because they've taken the arts out of school.
Yes.
What are our children supposed to do? You've taken away, you stomped literally on their creativity.
Yes. And many of them, that's all they had.
Thank you. They don't know anything else.
Yes.
So how can you do that? That is so mean.
So I'm so grateful that you provided a means for them to share their wonderful talent, and that we can see what is among us all across the globe. This is a new generation, and they're coming here to touch our hearts and help remind us of who we are. As Mama D said, divinity within.
Yes.
Reminded that's who we are, so that we can remove all the ugliness that others try to place on us and define, as we can embrace that, remove that, heal from that, and manifest that divinity within. They remind us that, our children are reminding us of that with their beautiful talent and their wonderful, joyous spirit that they're sharing with the world.
And some of these children, Naima, are simply phenomenal. I look at the child and I say to myself, did he or she just sing that song? That voice came out of that body. Are you serious? I'm sitting here watching the videos going,
yes.
Really? It's like, did we have that kind of talent as kids? These children today, they have something extra. I don't think we had it.
Yes, they came here to this world to bring us to a point of higher consciousness. And when we see that talent, we know it's from the divine. They are expressing God.
These children are phenomenal. So we encourage you to go and listen to them and vote for them and encourage them and let them know that they are not alone. They have gifts, and we appreciate those gifts because not everybody gets that love at home. Oftentimes we get love from out there and get nothing at home.
Yes.
So don't think that your vote doesn't make a difference. You waiting on the next person to vote. No, we need your vote. Your vote is the one that may stop a child from committing suicide, menticide,
yes,
killing them inside. Your vote does matter. Your vote makes a difference because it's your vote, and you're voting for that child to get to the next level, whatever that next level is. Whether they might need a connection in radio, TV, they might need a voice coach, they may need some other kind of help at home with their family. That's what we're here for, to serve. Someone wise once said, service is the price we pay for the space we occupy on this planet. Let me say that again.
Right.
Somebody didn't hear me.
It is.
Service, as in going to YouTube and clicking a button, that's part of it. Service is the price we pay for the space, this body that we occupy here on the planet. If you are not serving your human brother or sister or child, then why are you here?
Right. Wow.
Man's inhumanity to man has, as of this day, as of this moment, just stopped. Why? Because you, the listener, the viewer, decided to go and vote for a child's future, which is part of your future.
That's right. Go to the Higher Learning TV show, Higher Learning Network TV show, and vote for one of those beautiful manifestations of God.
And you can vote for more than one. You don't have to vote for this one, but just don't make it difficult for us to tally.
Sometimes a stranger might recognize something in a child that the parents don't see.
Yes.
Yeah.
I noticed that. So do not think that your vote does not matter, because your vote does matter. And we thank you in advance for your vote. We thank you in advance for your time, for your sharing these messages of love, of light, and energy, and inspiration, and the female solution.
Absolutely.
Because where would we be without the female solution? And remember, we're right back here tomorrow morning. Let's talk about it with Maika from 7 till 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And Maika will bring it on home, honey, because that's who Maika is. That's what she does. Yeah. And on Wednesday, yours truly, Mrs. Naima Latif and Kareem Hamid, repairing family relationships. On Thursday. Ooh, Lord have mercy. I wish y'all could be on the Sunday calls because we got to start recording those and start in clips for those because sometimes the things we say, it's like, see, that should be in the show. We need to say that. So we're going to start recording that.
Yeah, so at least we let you all hear the audio because some of them in our pajamas. So
no, they don't need to see us. All they going to hear is audio. And Family Matters with Wendy City Deloach, Esquire, our attorney here at the Female Solution Health and Wellness, with Beata on Friday. And then we go into Saturday. So give us the lineup for Saturday, the first, second, third, fourth, because I sometimes get them confused.
Yes, well, of course, the first Saturday is Jana from London, England, brings us nonviolent communication in BC and success strategies with Jana. Of course, she's a great author, best-selling author, success strategies. And again, you know, we think our situation with Black people is just here in America. We got issues everywhere in the globe. We got to deal with the undoing of the brainwashing everywhere we live so that we can manifest that divinity within. So Jana brings us success strategies every first Saturday of the month. And then, of course, we've got Love, Joy, and Powers on the second Saturday. And we got Move Around with Deborah on the third Saturday. Of course, last Saturday, Deborah was on giving us that wonderful presentation of her guests schooling us on Kwanzaa and the importance of the principles and how we live those principles. So it was a fantastic show. Go back in the archives and hear that. Definitely, these are the principles we are working toward living by, and that will solve our problems. So definitely listen to Move Around with Deborah. And then, of course, fourth Saturday is Wisdom with Mama D. And Mama D continues to bring us the wisdom of being an elder in these times, being able to look back in order to see forward and plan for a powerful future. Wisdom, of course, stands for Women in Support of Daughters on Motherhood Preparation. And that's what our elder sisters have to be doing. These young women that are coming up, the beautiful, talented people that we see in the talent competition on the Higher Learning Network, these are women who we need to be sharing our wisdom with so that they can give the best of themselves to the next generation of children to be born. Because this is what's going to change the future. And I say it all the time on the Female Solution, 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families so that they will create a world where we can live together in peace. This is our goal.
And we are ahead of our goal because it is happening as a result of you participating in the Female Solution. I hear Brother Kwame wants to make a final remark. We've got about 2 minutes. Thank you, Brother Kwame, for hanging in there with us. Was that Brother Kwame? Somebody said something.
At 706-202.
Brother Kwame, 706-202. Is that you on mic? Unmute yourself. Yeah, he's unmuted. Brother Kwame, 706-202. You got to unmute yourself in order for us to hear you. If you want to contact me during the week, 312-409-6619. And my Instagram account is ZeldaSpeaks, the number 2 and the letter U. ZeldaSpeaks 2U. And also be sure and join us for the round 2 of the Teen Talent Contest. Saturday at noon right here on Higher Learning TV show on YouTube. As we close out the show, let me be sure I got everybody who wanted to comment. 706-202 and 312-823. 312-823. All right. Well, in that case, we will move right along. It is 9:28 and 9:29, and it's time to close out the show. We thank you so very much for your participation, for listening, and for sharing and liking this video. and making a difference in the life of those of whom you love with summer solstice. Excuse me, I keep saying summer. Winter solstice. Today is a very special day, December 21st. Do not let it pass you by, and you have not gone within, gotten quiet, and listened to the still small voice that will always, always, always never fail you, direct you, and keep you. When you trust that gut, you are trusting the universal creator that brought you here. Doesn't matter what name you choose to call it, Allah, Yud Hey Wav Hey Yav Hey Judah, Jehovah, Jireh, Baha, whatever, Jesus, God, Lord, whatever you choose to call it. We honor all names. We recognize it and we give thanks and we give praise and we thank you for joining the Female Solution, and we'll see you next time. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to higher learning like I do right here on the Female Solution. Thanks for listening. And thanks for watching. Namaste. Hotel. Peace. Shalom.